Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Howard who loved writing stories.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world. He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer.
Welcome to The Worst Writer in the World. This week's plot so far is by Nick Tucker,
a.k.a. Magic Monkey.
and he says, Rapunzel is a 12 years and 11 months old girl with long hair. But not like fantasy fairy tale long, just regular long. One day, after a particularly heavy snowfall burnt down her woodshed, so that is what happened, her dad sells her to a gruff-voiced posho, known only as the Squire, who entices her by threatening to kill her rubbish family. That is true. After a long and tearful goodbye, she goes to live in his big house to be his friend stroke wife and say nice things about his poo. Thankfully, it turns out Rapunzel and the Squire can't be married until Rapunzel reaches the mature and experienced age of 13. So the Squire puts her outside to get older. Okay, so in this week's episode, we're going to find out how Rampion reacts to his sister being sold to an old man, and we're going to get to see the wedding of that old man to his young child bride.
Here comes the child, 6 inches high.
Oh my God. Yeah, and let's also not forget that this is a wedding written by Howard, and although it may be set in 1625, I suspect, knowing how you write, I suspect you're going to draw on your own experience.
Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be a disco.
It's going to seem like a wedding from the 1980s.
Chicken legs.
Yeah, chicken legs, disco, the Birdie song.
The Birdie song, they're going to be Birdie song, Superman
by Black Lace, yeah.
Comb your hair.
Yeah, but what else do you have to do? Have a swim.
Have a swim. Superman.
Yeah, and if, by the way, everyone listening, if you are not from England in the past, like we are, and you're like, what's Black Lace? When we were kids, at every wedding, they would play Black Lace Superman, right? Because it was a terrible song where they basically told you what to do. It was call and response, right? Where they'd say, do a mime, and all this rubbish mime that you'd have to do. And you'd all stand in a big circle.
It wasn't rubbish, it was
amazing.
amazing.
All stand in a big circle, but like absolute morons,
pretending
to swim or comb your hair. Comb your hair. And here's what it's because British people are so rubbish, they can't do a basic dance.
It's designed to make your life easier.
They can't even do a basic rubbish dance. So it's all like, pretend you're swimming. What a fucking awful song.
What you need to understand about England in the past, as opposed to how it is now, is that like now everyone wants to be on the X Factor and everyone can do all those funky dance moves of the Spice Girls and like NSYNC tours. But when we were younger, even the pop stars of the time couldn't do any dancing. I mean, look at Rick Astley. Yeah. So what they did to make it easier, it was kind of like our version of line dancing that they have in the States. Yeah. But instead of like doing like
learning 3 steps,
it was like comb your hair, blow your nose, wave your arm, spray.
Yeah, that was one where you'd lift your arm and pretend you were spraying on deodorant, right? I'll tell you what, if you want to know what that is, go on YouTube and look for Black Lace Superman and find out what life was like for us as children. All right, let's get on with this week's episode, shall we?
Yes, please.
Right, we're in the garden of Century Chase, and Rapunzel is meeting the gardener. And the gardener says, so, you like the garden? No. Oh, why? Why don't you like my garden? And she says, you think you can control nature, but you can't. It is stronger than us all. Well, how did I manage to cut the grass? Look at at the grass. I cut that this morning. It's short grass. I controlled nature. If it were impossible to control nature, then the grass would have cut me. All right. And that didn't happen, did it? No, I cut the grass. So proving that what you're saying is wrong. No, she thinks you can't control nature. And the gardener actually says, but my maze, I shall shape the hedges to my specifications, not nature's. I'm not going to make nature's maze. I'm not going to... nature sent me a picture of a maze yesterday. It was rubbish. Basically, you walk in, turn around 3 times and come out again. That's not a good maze. Look at my maze. It's got 5 exits and a million ways to go. So the squire said it's too many. I should come down the number a bit. But I said no. No, I shall shape the hedges to my specifications, not nature's. You'll always be trimming them, forever digging weeds. You lay paths, but the weeds, they break through. They are stronger. You're a smart one for your age, aren't you? Oh, look at you. Oh, look at me. I know what weeds do. Look at me. I'm a weed expert. I'm going to go and tell the gardener what weeds are. Don't you think I know what weeds are? I'm a gardener. Oh, do you want to point to a tree? Oh, look, that's a tree. Oh, thanks very much. Thanks very much, Rapunzel, for telling me what a tree is. Oh, look at that. It's a dandelion. Yes, funny. Oh, I'll write that down in my little book, in my gardener book. Rapunzel says this is a dandelion. Thanks very much, Rapunzel. And you can't cut the grass. The grass cuts you. You can go now. I've had enough. I think I've learned everything I can from you. So the next scene is interior Fable Cottage. We're back at Rapunzel's house. A well-fed fire burns in the hearth. It's so often. It's like
I'm just a very fat log now. A hot fat log.
An arrogant fat fire sitting in the hearth going, I used to think I was just a hot log, but actually I'm a brilliant fat fire. It is like you were writing this knowing that one day we would do this, and you thought, well, this is a boring line. There is a fire, a big fire. What if I call it a well-fed fire? That'd be something that Rufus will think is funny in years to come. Danielle sits at the table staring into the flames as they dance. So it's a dancing fat fire. Her eyes seem dead. All right, now that's weird.
Just the rest hollow of her, sockets, basically.
No, the rest of it, she's still got eyes, but they are dead. The rest of her is alive, but she's got dead eyes.
Seem dead.
Yeah, okay, they're not dead really, because who's got dead eyes? I mean, that's not a thing. Maybe it's just, how zombies, in zombie TV now, and zombie movies, they wear contact lenses to make them like grey-eyed kind of thing.
Just go all like plain.
Yeah, maybe she's got zombie eyes. Mm-hmm. Maybe she's wearing grey contact lenses.
She's a zombie.
Yeah, okay. Right, yeah, but she's a new zombie, so she hasn't got, zombies tend to get, the longer they're around...
that presents the news, is it a news zombie?
Yeah, she's a news zombie.
Oh, fun zombie.
Yeah. And the thing about news zombies is they wear a lot of makeup, right, to hide the rotting flesh. So the rest of her looks quite normal, but you can't put makeup on your eyes. Right, so her eyes seem dead, but actually she's 100% dead.
You're 100% dead.
Yeah. She's all dead. So she's the news zombie.
Dong.
Yeah.
Your brains. Dong. Dong.
Yeah, that's the news for zombies. And in other news, and now the weather. Yeah, same joke. Whatevs.
Yeah.
I was trying to go somewhere, but I didn't. I just went to more zombies. There's not much you can do with zombie jokes. It's just that's the end.
And now we go over to the whether their legs will stay on or not.
Okay, nailed it.
They didn't stay on.
If you bet on legs don't stay on, you win. Congratulations. Right, so her eyes seem dead. Edward is sat at the door of the twins' bedroom.
His legs seem dead.
No, it's better than that. It's better than that. It's just in this one tiny paragraph, it's like 3.5 lines, and you've crammed so many gags in. A well-fed fire burns in the hearth. All right, brilliant first opening gag, well done, right? Danielle sits at the table, staring into the flames as they dance. Dancing fire, also good gag, okay? Her eyes seem dead, she's a zombie, brilliant, all right? Edward is sat at the door of the twins' bedroom, he is stroking the door. He is stroking the door.
Yeah.
End on your best joke, I mean, well done. That's like a tiny little routine there.
Yeah.
He is stroking the door.
I've got a new pet door. Would you like to pet it?
I haven't got a daughter anymore, but I've got a door. It's half as good.
Oh, there, door. Door of mine.
Yeah. Interior, twins' bedroom, Fable Cottage. Rampion lies on the bed, his arms folded like a dead man. A chair has been put under the door handle to keep it locked shut. The windows are open. He is not very good at locking. Rampion is a moron.
That's right, he knows his dad's a fucking moron as well, and hasn't figured out you can get into the window.
He'll be stroking that door for hours, I'll be fine. Rampion lies still. An ominous shadow seems to cross over his sleeping figure. Mrs. Fox, voiceover. They say the boy's grief at losing his sister was so great he kissed the lips of death that day and welcomed the end. Of course, they're wrong about that. I don't know if you've ever seen death, but he don't have no lips. He's a skeleton. He's a big, scary skeleton with a scythe. So he kissed the bony face of death that day and welcomed him into his face. Close up, Rampion. There is no breath. He is dead.
Nice.
Did he just die of a broken heart? Is that what happened there?
Basically committed suicide with a window hypothermia, I think.
Oh, is that why the windows were open? Because he's freezing to death?
Yeah, because that protects you, doesn't it?
He's death by open windows. That's what the coroner's going to write. Cause of death, windows. So Rampion's dead.
Such a sad day. Bong. So I suppose that the zombies were doing zombie news when that was happening. That's what that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was zombie news. Bong. Well, it's news of someone's death.
Yeah.
So it is absolutely zombie news. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Rampion's coming back as a zombie.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. There is no breath. He is dead. He gets up and eats his mum.
So, poor Rampion is dead.
Funny.
Dead and eating his mum.
Oh, they're not that bit though, right?
Okay, just the
he
dead
is
part.
just dead.
Okay.
He's not a zombie. There is no zombie news, and consequently, no one can possibly know that Rampion is dead yet. No one outside the cottage can possibly know, and that includes Rapunzel.
Little Rapunzel.
Poor little Rapunzel, his twin. Unless, I don't know if she's got some kind of twin magic.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out. Let's go over to Rapunzel at the Squire's house. Exterior, rear garden, Century Chase. Rapunzel's eyes are wide. She touches the necklace that she wears around her neck, holding the pendant. The Squire says, "Are you feeling better, sweetness?" Rapunzel smiles. She holds out a large fruit in her bandaged hand. I've got a melon. Do you want my Do you want my melon?
I mean,
I've got a
yes or no. I mean,
I've just been standing here holding this melon. But like my hand hurts. Could you take it? I don't know why you wanted me to come out and stand next to the tree with a melon. I don't know. It's the only way I can get off.
can't you just put it in your other hand, and it wouldn't hurt so much?
No, she holds out a large fruit in her bandaged hand. The Squire looks a little confused.
Where'd you get the melon from? Melons don't exist yet.
That's
necessarily true. Maybe we don't have them here. But... No, they don't
exist. They only start existing in 1800.
I've never heard of one anyway. How did you know it was called then? Didn't you? Told me.
Yeah. It has just been in the description. I've never said melon. You just said it. No, I didn't. I never said melon. Okay, so he looks confused but takes the fruit. She enters the house. The Squire looks down at the fruit in his hand. It is split and bleeding on him. Turns out it's not a fruit, it is a guinea pig. He drops it and shakes his hand. The fruit hits the ground and splits open. It is foul inside, rotten and infested with spiders. Tiny spiders spill out and walk about. That's what it says.
Oh, fucking hell. I should go for a walk. I'm going to go over here, Larry. Where are you going to go? You coming over here?
Go over here.
Come on, Spinky.
Spinky the spider.
Spinky.
Oh, Speaky the spider.
Speaky the spider.
Because they can speak.
Yeah,
Speaky the spider. I'm unusual because I can speak. No, it says, tiny spiders spill out and walk about. The Squire, seeing this, stamps on a few, grimaces, and then enters the house.
It's that one.
Yeah,
and that one. And that
like
one.
that, right?
You rest of you can go.
So, Rapunzel has sensed the death of her brother using her twin magic. right?
Yeah.
And so she's gone to her room to have a bit of a cry, probably.
So she can probably sense, because like you used to have this aerial that pointed up, and like it's always transmitting to her, but all of a sudden it's gone all limp, and now she's going like, I don't feel the presence of Rampion anymore.
Rampion's aerial anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think we can get through 5 minutes without mentioning a boy's penis? Do you think that's?
Do you want to mention a girl's penis instead?
No, I'm saying, what if we have a little challenge, right? Let's have a little challenge where we just won't make any jokes about any body parts for a while.
Okay.
Just to see if maybe we can do a bit better.
No, I can do that. I'm game.
Well, your game is pretty low at the moment.
Okay, so Rapunzel goes to her bedroom to cry.
Yeah.
Not out of her eyes. Because that's a body part. And downstairs,
okay.
the squire
you can mention eyes.
uses his shoes, but not his feet or legs, to murder a load of spiders. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Fable Cottage.
Fable Cottage to see what's happening with the dead, with the tragically dead Rampion, right?
Yeah, and there's definitely nothing sexy about that.
Okay, let's give it a try. Cut to interior Fable Cottage. Edward walks slowly from the twins' bedroom, head hung, carrying the body of Rampion in his arms, wrapped in a dark blanket. Danielle, Danielle, I've got some quite bad news. You might want to brace yourself for this. You know how you were upset when I sold one of our children? She does not respond. He carries the boy to her and kneels in front of her.
Look at this, look, it's a dead boy. He shakes the corpse of her son in her face.
God, yes. She looks at her dead child being shook in her face by her husband. She takes the child so that he stops shaking him in her face and cradles him in her arms, sobbing. Cut to wedding montage with music.
Ooh, what music? Like some kind of 80s thing. It's a dress-up thing.
Yeah. Well,
oh, that's a nice cake. What a lovely dress. Oh, I think we'll have prawn salads to start with. I like your top hat. Knocking away. Knocking. Knocking away.
Even no matter what you do, you can't not. You can't not. Right? Let's raise our game a bit, okay? Knocking away. Oh, whoops! I accidentally said boobs. Okay. So Our Heart is playing during the montage. I think so because it's a pre-wedding montage, right? Rapunzel stands on a stool.
Oh, maybe a nice day for a white wedding. That'd be good.
Yes, because that's a bit like... and it's Hey Little Sister as well.
Yes.
Right? So it's Rampion's ghost singing it.
So fucking appropriate.
Yeah, Rampion's ghost. Like, you see him in heaven, and he's all like, hey, little sister, what have you done?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. Hey, little sister, cover up your bum. Because the first one is, Rapunzel stands on a stool whilst dressmakers busy themselves about her person, creating a magnificently elegant wedding dress. All right, it's got one D. All right. Sorry, I think it means wedding dress.
Oh, that's a wedding dress. Okay. It's like garden. She loves the garden. She loves the garden.
So she's got a wedding dress. She's not getting married. She's going to do some gardening. She's trying to make it up with that gardener she was horrible to earlier. So, a magnificently elegant wedding dress. The squire stands by the door, nodding approvingly. That's a good. I like. Oh, good dress, good wedding dress. Nodding approvingly. Well done, 12-year-old wife. Good dress. Well, I'm really happy.
He's done that really well.
In the garden, a huge web is cast across the branches of the great tree, and some of the fruit is infested with tiny spiders.
Oh, that's great. It's a great tree.
In the centre of the web sits a particularly vicious-looking mother. Hello, I've just come for the wedding. Did I tell you about my dead son?
Are you all right down there, Rapunzel? It's me, your mother.
So, particularly vicious-looking mother. Rapunzel stands below, staring in awe at its fat body and spindly legs. It's not a nice way to talk about your own mother, is it? Mother, you're looking quite fat and spindly.
Fat and spindly.
A huge ballroom within the chase is being decorated with ribbons and flowers by a few maids, including young Mrs. Fox.
Oh, sir, he's putting out some ribbons and balloons.
Balloons. Yeah, there's some ribbons and flowers.
Some pig intestines and blowing them up and putting them on the sea land.
Painted them pink. The Squire and Rapunzel walk arm in arm down one of the many corridors. They reach a door which he opens for her. She nods gratefully and enters, closing the door behind her. Rapunzel listens at the library door to hear the Squire's footsteps lead him away, before turning to take in the collection of books. She quickly locates a book on spiders, picks the book up, and the spiders run away. Don't worry, my little friendly spiders. I'll always help you get away from those books that fall on you. Cut 2. The montage is over. Interior dining room evening. The clock ticks. The Squire sits alone.
Sitting noises.
At the table, which is set for 2. Waiters standing.
How would you like to look at the menu, Mr. Squire?
Oh, waiters. A wonderfully narrow experience.
Yeah, waiting on him, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Young Mrs. Fox enters and curtsies. Can you not call her Miss Fox? Be a way of making a difference, wouldn't it? So young Mrs. Fox. Yeah, young unmarried Mrs. Fox, isn't it?
Oh, you only become Mrs. when you... I mean, she can't be a Mrs. Fox, because you've got to marry Mr. Fox to become Mrs. Fox.
Yeah, she hasn't married that Raven yet.
Before then, she's Ms.
Oh, right, yeah.
Fishstone or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that whole name-changing thing, yeah. Good point. Yeah, no, Miss Fox makes even less sense. You're right. I was more in the wrong then. I think we have to give you the I'm the clever one hat. Here you go. That's yours now.
Going to come out of this stall in the corner as well.
Come out of this stool? Can I come out of this stool? Okay, give me the hat back.
Oh, no.
Can I come out of this? Can I come out of this stool in the corner? No, you can't. Give me my hat.
Oh, it's such a sweet moment, but so short-lived. I'm going to stay in this stool then.
Yeah, stay in the stool.
Okay.
I think I know. I probably should know this, but I know I can intimidate you into saying something foolish by calling you clever. It's like it sets your brain on an uneven kilter. You panic at the responsibility of being the clever one, and your brain just goes, "Okay, quick, say something stupid."
I hope that's true. I would like that thought.
So the Squire is eating dinner all alone.
Except for all those waiters.
Except for the waiters, yeah. Because his new future wife, or, new purchase, Rapunzel, has, for some reason, decided she doesn't want to join him for dinner, but instead is up to something to do with spiders. So let's find out what she's up to. Exterior rear garden. Out of the darkness, the figure of Rapunzel appears. She goes to the tree and plucks a few of its fruit, which she places in her bag.
I've got a few of its fruit.
I've got a load of spiders now. I've got a bag full of spiders. Spider bag.
Spider bag. Spider bag. Look at my spider bag.
Open my bag. Look at the spiders.
Lots of spiders in the bag.
Yeah, why have I got a bag of spiders? Who knows? It is a spider bag. Next scene, interior stairwell, Century Chase. Young Mrs. Fox is here, dangling her legs through the rails and smoking a pipe. Brilliant. Oh, sir, I'm smoking my pipe. She hears a noise below. Rapunzel climbs the staircase. All right, so she didn't run away. I thought she was running away. She just went to get some fruit and came back again.
Yeah.
Okay. So she did go and get some spiders. That is what she did. I was just joking. I don't think she actually got a spider bag.
Yeah, she got a spider bag.
I thought she was running away and getting herself some food for the journey or something.
No, she's got a spider bag.
But she's got a spider bag.
Spider bag. Spider bag. Why has she got a spider bag?
Presumably she's going to stick it all in the...
Presumably she's going to stick it all...
Squire's bed.
In the Squire's bed.
So that... When he gets into bed, there's loads of spiders. So Rapunzel climbs the staircase. As she reaches the top, she stands above young Mrs. Fox, who looks up at her suspiciously. All right, so... Where's my bag? Where's my bag? that was Spider-Man there. The first French Spider-Man. My name is Peter Parker.
Spider-Hom.
What would it be like? It's
Tarantula Hom.
Let's find out what's French.
Tarantula Hom. Tarantula Hom.
It's learning time with Rufus and Howard. What is spider in French?
Put Spider-Man. Right, Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Araignée.
Araignée. Araignée.
Araignée.
Araignée. Do it again. Do it to the tune.
Araignée. Araignée.
Swinging around like a
Araignée.
Does a thing like a
Araignée.
That's because he's
Araignée.
Look out, here comes
Araignée.
No, she didn't get that one. She didn't know the
She didn't know the tune.
Good though, good try for a robot woman.
Well, she did well. She did well for her first time singing the Spider-Man theme tune in French. Well done, that. Well done, that. Robot woman. Robot woman sings a song about Araignée.
Araignée. Oh god, it must be rubbish being French. He wants to watch that.
To read comics about someone called Araignée.
I'm going to go to the cinema and watch Araignée 2. Well, I'm going to go to the cinema and watch Araignée 2. No, thank you.
That might not be what it's called, because that's the direct translation. But let's see, what is Spider-Man called in French? Alan Robert.
Alan Robert. Alan Robert. Yeah, good.
No, I think that is someone who scales skyscrapers. That is just a person. I've got a French student at the moment. I'll ask her on Monday. I won't. I'll forget. I mean, there's no chance. Also, it'd be weird in class. Halfway through class, we're doing like fucking present perfect or something. I go, oh, just 1 second. What is Spider-Man called in France?
Put Spider-Man poster France.
L'Araignée.
It's just called L'Araignée.
The spider. Just called the spider. L'Araignée.
L'Araignée.
Well, if you think our French pronunciation is amazing, why not write in and tell us how good we are at French? Yeah. If you don't, no need to write in, don't worry about it.
I'm so good at French.
Next scene, interior, corridor off Rapunzel's bedroom. The squire walks along and comes to Rapunzel's...
It's a bit like L'Araignée, isn't he? L'Araignée walks around on his feet.
Yeah, listener, we just had a little break with our faces or whatever. Right? Anyway, while we were having a break, Howard came up with a great theme tune for the French Spider-Man, which was L'Araignée walking around on his feet. Because oddly, while American Spider-Man has lots of powers, French Spider-Man only has one, which is the ability to walk on his feet. Yeah. And not up walls, but just regular walking with his feet.
Yeah. Would you like pastry? Yes. Yes, you would. L'Araignée. Likes eating pastries and having a walk.
He's like any other French person.
Don't call me L'Araignée for nothing. Oh no, wait a second. Do that. Yeah. No, it's because you're wearing the outfit.
He still wears the tights and everything. And the mask. Cut 2. Exterior, rear garden, century chase, day. The sun is shining through the branches of the tree. Many seats have been laid out and they are all occupied by members of staff within the chase. Maids, gardeners, waiters, etc.
Waiters.
Yeah.
Door people. L'Araignée is there. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Danielle and Edward are there. It's a surprise for Rapunzel.
Yes.
Boo. Oh, look, we've got your brother in the back. Carry on.
The wooden altar is decorated with flowers, and you're really putting a lot of emphasis on that altar being wooden.
What is an altar?
It's like a raised dais where you get religion and married. Where you get religion or you get married. So the wooden altar is decorated with flowers, and the priest. They're decorated with flowers, and the priest stands beneath, facing the squire who waits for the arrival of his bride. From the altar, down the aisle, and to the French windows of the chase, a red carpet has been laid.
Okay, well, that explains why L'Araignée is the priest then, if they're French windows.
And a red carpet. Yeah. That's actually, when he stands on the red carpet, you can't see.
Yeah.
A live orchestra sits to one side playing.
And a dead orchestra.
Lies on the other side. Yeah. Not playing.
Rotting. Rampion is amongst them. Yeah. He is not playing all of the instruments. As is everyone in that orchestra.
Yes.
All of them are not playing all of the instruments.
The orchestra stops playing, and a hush falls throughout the guests. The orchestra strums up a wedding-esque tune. Yeah, wedding-esque. From within the house, the veiled... excuse me. Orchestra. When I said wedding-esque tune, I meant more. The bridal march. That kind of thing.
The birdie song.
No, I don't want
not that one.
It's not very wedding-esque, is it?
Well, that's the only song we know.
Do you know Superman by Black Lace?
Oh, well, yeah,
That's quite wedding-esque, isn't it? I mean, it's usually at the reception, but at least it's got the right association.
Okay, trombonists.
Walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
Marry an old man. Have sex. Cry yourself to sleep. Put spiders in a bag. Kill yourself. Okay, all right. Maybe we can live without the lyrics. So, we are in the garden at Century Chase, and the squire is in the middle of marrying his child bride.
It's the wedding of the century.
It's the wedding of the century.
It's the wedding of the Century Chase. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is, yeah. It's the wedding of the Century Chase. That is true, yes. So, the priest is speaking, and the priest says, "That you stand together in the sight of God as man and wife." That's it. They're man and wife. But which one is the man and which one is the wife? I've chosen, just to be unusual, to make Rapunzel the man. Rapunzel, you are now a man.
Oh,
and
thank you.
exterior garden. You're right.
Yeah, it's Doctor Who.
I know, Doctor Who to say exterior garden.
Taddies.
The squire kisses Rapunzel for rather longer than is pleasant to watch.
like a millisecond?
10 minutes.
Yeah, a milliseconds longer than it's comfortable, isn't it? I mean, anything
Anything at all when it's a 50-year-old man kissing a 13-year-old girl, yes. Let us get this banquet out of the way quickly, my dear. We have other business
fucking
we
hell.
need to attend
What
to.
is wrong with him?
He carries her up the aisle and into the house, stumbling slightly as he goes on account of being an old man. The priest follows. What's the priest got to do with it? So,
I'm coming to watch.
Don't wait, Mara. I'm coming along. I want to
So
see.
they get this banquet out. They're going for dinner.
Oh, okay. I
They're
forgot.
not going
that, okay.
straight to the fucking.
All right.
Gotta have some cheese before you fuck.
The guests clap and cheer as they go.
Hooray! Yes.
Yay, paedophile! Yay, old man marrying 12-year-old.
Well, they got no choice. They all work for him. That's
do,
why.
yeah.
That's why he's only got people who work for him. So
The only
like,
two people who aren't clapping are her parents.
What's going on?
Interior, rear lounge. Entering through the French windows, the squire puts Rapunzel down. You're ugly. Stupid. She's like, we're already married, you don't need to neg me now. For goodness sake. No, he places her on the ground.
Injects her.
He's been carrying her. What?
He injects her, puts her down.
Oh, I thought he said ejector.
Yeah.
Like they were in a James Bond car. And
No,
he
like
pressed the
she's in a
ejector seat.
VCR recording device.
Sorry, that's
VCR
a video recording.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what to put her in there for, but take her out of the video recorder.
Quick eject.
Oh no, she's all square now.
Which, of course, is what happens when you put people in VCRs.
Force
They
them in.
become square.
Come back out.
You know, like VCR tapes were. They were square. I will join you presently, my love, says Rapunzel. The squire looks inquiringly at her, then smiles and nods.
You should look enquiringly at her, didn't you? Where's he going?
Well, she's gone. Basically, I guess he's gone to the banquet. Or
She's
whatever.
gone.
But cheese gone is something they're eating for dinner. No. Presumably, I mean, they were on their way to the banquet, and then she's all like, "I'll be there in a minute." Right?
Oh, right.
So he's carried on, I guess, and she's gone off somewhere else.
Oh, so they're going through the French windows into the rear lounge, and they're going to carry on through the rear lounge into the dining room.
Yeah,
okay,
but she's gone, like, I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah,
I've just got to go.
I'm just going to kill myself. Yeah, bye.
Next scene. Interior, ballroom, Century Chase. The room has been transformed into a banqueting hall. Tables around the edges are laid for a mighty feast. Why are they around the edges if it's banquet? You're thinking of a buffet, aren't you? You've said the ballroom has been transformed into a buffet like my sister had at her wedding.
Yeah, people are queuing and getting chicken legs.
Tables around the edges are laid ready for a mighty feast. The guests begin to filter in, oohing and aahing at the finery they see. The guests, that's the staff. They're like actors now. They're like rubbish extras. All right, that's what they are.
Because clearly they set all this up earlier. So they have to pretend to be surprised by it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, look at that chicken leg.
I'll put that there.
I'll put that there. Oh, no, I'm pretending. So, next scene. Interior, Rapunzel's bedroom. Underneath the bed, a single tiny spider has found its way out of the bag. She's got a bag of spiders under her bed, I remember that.
Only one of them's smart enough to figure out how to get out of a bag, though.
Rapunzel enters and retrieves the bag. She looks inside. A few more spiders have emerged from their eggs within the berries. Interior ballroom. Edward and Danielle are here within the crowds. That's her parents, right?
Yeah.
The squire sits at the head table. He is surrounded by heads of all the staff who have displeased him that week, and he cut their heads off. Rapunzel is not here, however, and the squire calls over young Mrs. Fox from where she is seated nearby. "Oh, sir, my lord." "Go and tell my wife to hurry along." "Yes, sir, my lord."
Sooner we eat all this cheese, the sooner I get to funny spunk time.
Funny spunk time. Ha ha ha, look at my spunk. It's funny spunk. Young Mrs. Fox curtsies and leaves the room through the main entrance. Seconds later, Rapunzel arrives, unnoticed, through the servants' entrance. Rapunzel moves through the room. Out of the corner of her eye, she sees her parents, and her eyes fill with hate.
Ooh, she's not happy.
Danielle tries to attract her daughter's attention.
Yoo-hoo!
Rapunzel glances at her with a cold stare, and Danielle hangs her head. Then she puts her head at the head table.
Yeah.
Rapunzel joins the squire. The squire stands. "My faithful servants and friends, let the merriment begin."
I don't know what they're doing that with Mexican music.
Howard, says the squire. Yeah. "Howard, could you... when I said merriment, I didn't mean that kind of faux Mexican music. That was weird. Yeah, it was anachronistic.
I can't remember what we're supposed to play at weddings, squire, sorry.
You went for that. That was wedding music, aren't it? Thanks anyway, Howard. I'm probably not going to invite you to my next wedding.
I don't want to come. I know what happens at this one.
Okay, let the merriment begin. Howard.
What?
I said I don't want you to do the weird mariachi music. Just don't do that, all right?
I wasn't listening before.
Okay, just
too busy thinking about playing mariachi music.
I'm gonna say it again, all right? Because every time I tell them to start the merriment,
yes,
right, you do that, and it means they don't start merrying. No. So what I'm saying is, when I do it again,
do what?
When I say let the merriment begin. No. Listen to the whole sentence. It's important. Okay, right? When I say that thing, don't do that.
Okay,
right?
Don't do that.
Just be quiet.
Right.
All right. Enjoy yourself. Have some food. Right. But don't do music. Okay.
I'm not in charge of the music.
You ready? Okay. My faithful servants and friends and Howard, let the merriment begin.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm like, go on then, I won't do it.
Waiters suddenly appear from all corners.
Ping! Hello, we are a magic appearing waiters.
Magic waiter.
Oh, what wonderful mariachi music. It's so enjoyable.
Oh, no.
Well, I love this music. We love this in France, where we have never heard it before.
So waiters suddenly appear from all corners, carrying tray upon tray of bowls. So they've got a pile of trays, right? Tray upon tray with bowls on it. Right. So it's like they're carrying like clean things to put them away or something.
They should have put the bowls on the table. That would have been, wise. Usually the crockery is there, isn't it?
Left the trays in the kitchen where they belong. All eyes turn to the squire. When he begins to eat, everyone else follows his lead, except for Rapunzel, who merely watches the others. Next scene, interior staircase. Young Mrs. Fox ascends. Young Mrs. Fox arrives at Rapunzel's bedroom, knocks, waits a moment, and then opens the door. The door creaks open. Young Mrs. Fox peers in. Interior staircase. Young Mrs. Fox descends. The only sound, her footsteps. Interior corridor off ballroom. Young Mrs. Fox hurries back toward the ballroom. She reaches the doors to the ballroom and opens them. She stares in horror. Silence. Tables and chairs have been toppled. Crockery lays smashed. But the most prominent image is the twisted faces of the dead people that litter the floor. Many are bleeding from their mouths, ears, eyes, or noses.
Nice.
Only Rapunzel is alive, and she stands on the central table next to the cake, looking pleased with herself. She looks up at young Mrs. Fox's entrance. Young Mrs. Fox begins to back away. Rapunzel frowns. She picks up the large, sharp cake knife and then leaps off the table in pursuit and out of the ballroom. What the crap happened there? So Mrs. Fox went upstairs.
Yeah.
And in the time it took her to go upstairs and come back down again, everyone died.
Yeah.
But Rapunzel didn't. So we've got to assume from what we've seen that the soup was poisoned. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Close up. Dead bodies. Maids. Waiters. The gardener.
Hey.
The priest.
Hey.
Musicians. Danielle and Edward.
Mariachi band.
Yeah. Howard. You were there, weren't you? Everyone in Century Chase except Rapunzel and Mrs. Fox is dead.
Oh, dead. Who killed everyone in the world except for Mrs. Fox and Rapunzel? Was it Mrs. Fox?
Is that why Rapunzel is chasing after her with a knife? Or does she just want to butter her? Find out next week on The
Worst Writer in the World. Worst Writer in the World. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world.
If you like listening to me reading stuff that Howard wrote when he was a kid, then you should also listen to
The Man by Cow podcast Doctor Who specials.
The Dalek Invasion of Balham. Balham is apparently not a suburb of London, but it looks like an island.
Balham. I'm invading Balham. I'm a Dalek. You're not a Dalek, Tom Baker Doctor, are you? You're getting confused.
Doctor Who stories written by Howard as a child, read by Rufus as an adult.
They are the Aranthrans. 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 They have an evil stare.
Yes, let's take the lift, Leela.
Don't go up there. Most of those stairs are fine, but there is one. There is one. Yeah. You cannot trust. It's evil.
Starring a really good impression of Tom Baker Doctor Who.
Come on, Jimmy, we've got to republic. We've got to recreate the human race. Me, a Time Lord, and a man from the past. We must restart the human race.
So accurate, you'll think the real Tom Baker Doctor Who agreed to be in it.
The Doctor enters the telescopic room with his instrument.
Yeah, he does.
This is my banjo. Do you like it?
Would you like to play it?
Including the high standard of writing you've come to expect from young Howard.
We see a room. It is a giant telescopic room. There's no such thing as a telescopic room.
I think it means a room with a telescope.
Well, it does, because the next line says a great big telescope sticks out of the ceiling. Great big. You really understand stuff.
The Man by Cow podcast Doctor Who specials.
Can you explain that? No, never mind. Let's go shopping.
Available free from manbycow.com and the British Comedy Guide.
And Mike has lost his feet.
He's
looking around for them.
I can't find my feet. Where did I put them?
You've not seen them.
I usually keep them on the end of my ankles.
We're getting ready to go now to spend some time with Man by Cow. They're going to take us to the moon using their magic space balloon.
The group go up to a desk where an evil-looking girl sits. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Worst Writer in the World.
Best writer in the world.
Best writer, Howard, in the world.
Thank you.
If you'd like to hear more, the extended episode is available to our Secret Gang right now on Patreon. You can find that by going to our website or patreon.com/manbycow. All the links are in the show description as always. What other kind of things can they get on Patreon, Howard?
Oh my giddy gosh blimey.
Loads
There's
of stuff,
so
right?
many wonderful things they can get there.
Loads of extra audio, video, pages from the script.
Yep.
If you want to read along and also see all the stuff we cut from Howard's original script, you can get that on Patreon right now for as little as $2 a month.
Yeah, and we'll even give you your own special Secret Gang name.
Special Secret Gang name, yes, and stuff every week. So you may remember last week we set you
Not
a little...
really. I mean, I was drunk for most of it.
Okay, but other people might remember last week where we set them a challenge to recommend our show using the word pinion.
Yes. And so many of you used it wrongly, you big morons.
Yeah,
How can you get that wrong? We told you what it means.
It's about a bird's wing.
Yeah.
Or where a cottage is.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? But no, not really. We told you to do it wrongly.
We told you to do it wrong.
And they were all great, but we could only pick one.
Yeah, because of a rule that we made up. Yeah, okay. And we have chosen Yarrow Suave Rainiac because not only was it an excellent use of the word pinioned, but he also went to the trouble of tagging people who he thought might enjoy it. And we thought that was going above and beyond the call of the challenge. So here's what Yarrow Suave wrote. One of the funniest podcasts I've ever heard.
Wow.
Now, good start, I've got to admit, right? It's basically a read-through of childhood stories and film scripts, pinioned with a great commentary. One of the very few things that actually make me laugh out loud. Also in public, to the great discomfort of random people. We also unexpectedly had an art challenge this week, right? Which, well, we didn't actually start it or tell anyone about it, but someone sent us some art and therefore won.
Yeah, congratulations.
So congratulations.
And you win the £1 million.
Yeah, £1 million to Keris Byrne on Twitter, who wrote, couldn't resist pinioning some Worst Writer Show fan art of the wonderful Mrs. Fox and Mr. Fox. And she sent us a really fantastic realisation of Mrs. Fox, right?
Yes,
I was
fantastic.
So impressed with that. And you can see that. We retweeted it on Twitter. We also posted it on our Facebook group and Facebook page. And so congratulations, Keris Byrne, for winning £1 million. All you've got to do to collect that £1 million is go to your nearest bank with a gun.
Yeah.
And say, give me my £1 million, I won it on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
All right? And they will do that. But this has inspired us, right? We thought, well...
This is in spiders.
This has inspired us.
Oh my God, get it.
I've taken out the spiders.
Okay.
It has inspired us.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had an accidental art challenge, which was immediately won by the only person who entered, we thought we should have a second one.
Yes.
Right? So this week, we would love you to submit your artistic realisations of events or characters in Rapunzel.
Fan art. And the short version of that is fart, of course. We'd like you to send us your farts.
Send us your farts. Oh, my God. You can send it to us on Twitter, at Worst Writer Show. We're on Facebook.
Just search for the Worst Writer in the World.
Yeah, we've got a group and a page, and we've got a website, manbycow.com. So just get us your art, and we'll share it and retweet it and all that kind of stuff, and we'll talk about how great it was next week. Yeah. Goodbye. Say goodbye, Howard.
Goodbye, Howard.
You loser.
What a great joke. I'm the first person to that joke.
The first one. Well done. Congratulations on being the first person to do that joke, the worst joke in the world.
He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer. Yeah.